Good afternoon, everyone. This is Tony from Her Homestead Skills. Well, I hope all of you have been having a reasonable harvest and being able to put things away for the upcoming year. And if you haven't had a harvest yourselves, perhaps you've been able to purchase bulk items at a very good price. I continually look for things like that here. And Ontario is a large producer of a lot of vegetables, so this time of year, definitely you can get a lot of product. You can get quite a large variety of products. So from fruit, peach trees in Niagara, from apples in more of the northern places, and all kinds of berries. And locally, I've gone to the strawberry farm. I think a couple of years back I went and got some black currants, and I didn't bother to go this year. I probably should have. They are an amazing berry with a lot of nutrients, and I hope I still have some jam in the cupboard. I haven't checked for that, but hopefully I still have a jar or two left. But I do have quite a number of other jams that I've made, so didn't make any jam this year either. All those lovely, beautiful strawberries that I purchased from the local strawberry farm went to my freeze dryer, and they're doing good. And I'll froze dry a whole bunch of peaches, and I have to say that I have been eating the peaches. I really enjoy them. And yeah, peaches I think are my favorite, where Mark prefers the strawberries. The fruit always turns out really nice when freeze dried. So I have been sorting out and cleaning out my cabinet, so I've got a pretty good idea of what I have and don't have. I have not yet purchased my tomatoes because some of you have told me, Canadians obviously, that you can purchase 25-pound box at Food Basics, and yes, I've seen that in previous years, the 25 pounds for $8.88, and I checked, and sure enough, Metro had this last week, they had that apparently in their flyer as their special. So a 25-pound box for $8.88. So I decided to get out there bright and early one day. And instead of, they didn't have that. I actually was there before the store opened, but they had bushel baskets of tomatoes, once again on shelving outside, for $25, and that was not what I was looking for. First of all, being able to get two 25-pound boxes for $9 a piece, I'm saving, $8.88, I'm saving a few dollars by getting them that way, and you're getting the same quantity. And it's probably a little bit easier for me to carry, to put in my car and then take out of my car and move them around in my home and get them processed. Unfortunately, Metro did not have any of those, even though they were advertised in their flyer. And I asked the young man, as soon as the store opened, because I didn't find them outside and I didn't find them inside, and he told me that yes, he had ordered them, but he had ordered 30 cases of them, but none had shown up. Now, I don't know if they can have problems for advertising products that they don't have, and if nobody complains, it's a non-issue. But if somebody else is upset about the fact that they've gone there and didn't find them, well, I think people have to be a little more careful to have at least some stock of something that you're advertising, but it's neither here nor there. I wasn't too concerned about it for a number of reasons. One being that it's still very early in the season for tomatoes. I should be able to get tomatoes for the next month if I want to. And I also did a check on supply that I do have. And I don't actually label too much of my tomatoes because I know what they are, I know what they look like, but I did put the date on them, on the lids. So I'm still using tomato puree from 2022, and that was the year I think that I had a tremendous garden harvest of tomatoes myself. I think I planted 100 plants and I kept harvesting and kept canning them up. And so I still have not gone through 2022's stock. I think I have probably about 13, 15 pints left. And I haven't even begun to use 2023's. So I know I'm good for the year. I really don't have to can any tomatoes at all, and I know that I'm still, it'll last for the whole next year, so I'm not too concerned about that. And I think that if I decide to can any tomatoes this year, it'll be a small quantity. So I'm rethinking that whole process because I know I have lots of stock. And I hope everyone has survived that weather that we had. You know, it hit Ontario in a big way. There was a tornado in one of the towns. Now that doesn't happen too often here, but it does happen often enough that sometimes you have to watch out for them. And you know, I've seen a few of them myself. I've seen the damage from a few tornadoes, pretty local to me. So it's not that they don't happen. And we had serious flooding, absolutely serious flooding in some places. I think in one, I saw some pictures of some people where the water was literally knee deep. And yeah, lots of damage. Well, hopefully everyone's okay. But yeah, that's quite a mess to clean up after, and feel sorry for them. I mean, I just stayed in during that storm, avoided it, watched it happen, watched the sky get black, and then of course clear up, but it took a while. And I was not affected, so I'm on higher ground, I guess, and it just didn't affect me, but there are quite a number of people that had water damage in a number of ways, so hopefully they'll survive all that and clean up. Now, I did have my own issues with repairs that needed to be done, and the big problem there is just literally scheduling it and being here when the repairmen show up, and sometimes they don't show up when they say they're going to, and sometimes it takes a day, 2, 3 days, and I've had a situation where it's taken a few days to do some repairs here, which can be pretty frustrating. And on top of that, I was under the weather for a few days, so had an infection and had to get antibiotics, which I hate taking meds. I put off taking them sometimes longer than I should, and unfortunately you don't want things to get too painful before you do something about it. So yeah, still haven't learned my lesson. Sometimes I wait too long. But yeah, a little bit under the weather, but I'm good now. It's passed. And yeah, took my meds like a good little girl. And yeah, I'm feeling a whole lot better. So hopefully things will improve, and we'll see more videos, and hopefully I have more things to show you with what I'll be working on. I do have to make some more meatballs, and I will be doing that. Now, Mark and I seem to share a lot of the kitchen chores. He has taken to wanting to make dinner, and I stay out of his way and let him do it. But that doesn't mean I don't do a lot of the prep work. And even with making meatballs, I make them, I put them together, I freeze them, and once they're frozen, I bag them so that when he wants to make meatballs, all he does is pull out a number of them out of the freezer, and we make pasta and meatballs. And I have taken to making a little bit of pasta again. It's been quite a while. And of course, the other thing that I'm paying a little bit of attention to is what's happening in the Middle East, and obviously I always keep an eye on that. And the Democratic Convention that's being held in Chicago. And I must admit that the Planned Parenthood setting up outside the convention and offering abortions and vasectomies there, I find rather disturbing. Hopefully a lot of people feel the same way I do, and you know, that sort of thing is not very becoming to anybody, any group. And of course they have the protesters creating havoc outside and doing their best to be disruptive. I don't know how successful they'll be at that, but you know, when you're trying to get politicians to take an interest in what you want and have them do what you want, calling them foul names doesn't really lend to anybody being terribly supportive of your interests. But, you know, what can I say? Everyone's entitled to free speech. But Killer Kamala and whatever, Genocide Joe is the other one, I think. Yeah. So, whatever. It's, I guess everyone has to have their say, and they speak in the manner that they feel is appropriate. But personally, I understand being angry. I understand lashing out. But there comes a time where you have to have a level head and talk sense. So it looks like Joe's gone now. He did his farewell speech. I really didn't watch it, but I heard a little bit about it. So, yeah, he's gone. He's gone on holiday, and the rest of the convention is for the up-and-coming vice president. See how things go for her. And, of course, the media is praising her and giving her all this positive reinforcement and being as negative as possible with Trump. But what I found was the most hilarious was watching Don Lemon trying to convince people that told him they were going to vote for Trump, and his trying to convince them that they are wrong, that they should be voting for Kamala. And yeah, that's pretty funny. It was an interesting piece of video to watch, and hopefully they keep playing it over and over. So, well, you know, there's still a few months left before the election, and hopefully it doesn't get really ugly. But anything can happen, and I understand there's always a big October surprise. I don't know, we've had a lot of surprises already, so I don't know what they can cook up for October. I mean, Joe falling out and Trump almost being assassinated, and good Lord, I mean, what can they come up with now? I don't know. I don't know. Anyway, stay tough, stay strong, keep prepping. We know it's going to be a strange year, and hope for the best, and, you know, it's all in God's hands. He'll do what He will, and for whatever reason, He will put in place whomever He wants to fulfill His purpose. That I understand, that I know, that I believe. So whatever the outcome, there's going to be darn good reason for it. Anyway, this is Tony from Her Homestead Skills. Hope you enjoyed this video, and hopefully I'll be putting out videos a little more consistently now. Have a great day, everyone. Bye for now.